Hey everybody, welcome to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, the CIO and co-founder of Nidus, and today we're going to be talking about deepfakes. And did you know this is a deepfake? Actually, it's not. This is me, just being me, but I guarantee you had hesitation in your mind and thought, holy crap, this looks pretty real. And you believed that it was a deepfake. And that's the whole point, is that deepfakes are getting to the point where we cannot tell the difference between reality and an AI generated person. This is going to be happening a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean, you thought phishing was bad. This is going to be monumentally different. To case in point, just a little while ago, there was a firm out of Hong Kong that got swindled out of $25 million all by a deepfake. Now, if you read like the clickbait articles and stuff, it's just like, oh, deepfake, and this guy just wired 25 million because he's an idiot. Well, it was a little bit more involved than that. What actually happened was they focused on this guy because they knew he had the ability. I don't want to say he, I really actually don't know, but we're just going to go with he. He had the ability to wire the money. Like this was they found out that this was the person. Then they spent a ton of time figuring out who were all of his colleagues that he talks to, who were the people that he goes to for the information to find out if something has to go through or not for approvals and all that. So what happened was they set up a Zoom call with their target and a whole bunch of other people who was colleagues and the CFO out of the UK branch, which he doesn't really talk to very much, right? But all the other colleagues that he does talk to and he trusts were also on the Zoom call. All of them were deepfakes. So what happened was there was an entire meeting generated that this person was involved in where every person that was on the call was a deepfake except for obviously himself. And the entire thing was a social engineering ploy to convince him that there was a secret transaction of 200 million Hong Kong dollars that needed to be transferred out for whatever reason, and it had to go through. So at first, this whole thing started out as actually emails, and the guy thought it was a phishing email. Was like, "Oh, this isn't real." I don't know if he reported it or not, but he was like, "This is a phishing email. I'm not doing anything about it." From there, those emails turned into the Zoom call. So then this guy's thinking like, "Oh, well, now this is actually legit because now I'm actually talking to the people. They're reacting to me. I know these people and I trust these people, and they all say it's okay. So I guess it's fine." And then went through the transaction. The only way this even got found out was because later, I was like the next day or whatever, the guy went and actually followed up and said, hey, was this legit? And started calling around. Then that's when they found out it wasn't. And then this whole thing blew up. So deepfakes are going to be insane because this is something that can be done real time. And I'm not talking about next year. I'm talking about now. We can do real-time AI. If you have enough power, like Ian was just asking me, he's like, hey, do you think we could do this? And I said, if you said, I will give you $25 million, if you can do a real-time deepfake of person, I guarantee you I can make that happen right now. I've done it where it's not real-time, but if I had enough money and compute power, I could absolutely make that happen real-time. So this is what's going to be happening. You're going to see the conversation start and then flip to a Zoom call. Zoom call qualities are garbage, and people trust it. We are inherent human beings where our entire biology over millions of years of evolution has designed us to trust our ears and our eyes with what we see and what we hear. And now all of that is going out the window. So this is a much larger problem because that means you're not going to be able to trust anything that is digital. Anything that's on video, not just Zoom calls for deepfakes, but also videos that are sent to you. If you're airdropped a video, you're doing a FaceTime call, a surveillance video of crime that's happened, photographs, body cam footages, all of this stuff is going to be deepfaked. And also remember this, there's an attack that's a lot of you security guys know, it's called man in the middle attack, right? So man in the middle attack, it's pretty simple. We have a real person here and a real system here, and a real transaction is happening saying to do something. Now the man in the middle attack is then saying, hey, take this transaction, flip it to do what I want it to do, and then continue sending it on. So now what happens is this person says, hey, wire me $100. Man in the middle flips the transaction, says wire Bob $100, and then it goes over to the bank, and the bank says, okay, it's legit, and sends it out. So there's tons of different ways to do man in the middle attacks for all different various reasons. But now think of this. Think of a man in the middle deepfake attack. So if I can get a hold of the video stream, or if I can get a hold of the audio stream or the phone call that's happening, and most of the time we're doing this all over digital now, like VoIP, right? Especially from the office perspective. So if I can real time tap your audio or video and mux that with what I want it to say and what I want it to do, the actual person sending the message would have no idea. So this is why things are going to get crazy. We're going to need all kinds of actual, like kind of a track and trace on where this video is coming from to prove that it hasn't been tampered. But then you're going to have attackers attacking that, right? So it's just like certificates, SSL. Everything keeps getting attacked. So we're going to put security on it. That's going to get attacked. It's going to keep going. But there's going to be a whole new level of attacks happening, and it's all going to come from this deepfake stuff. So what does that mean? It means back to office. Because the only way you're going to be able to trust anything is if it is done in person. So you're going to have more things like notaries getting involved. You're going to have more things like in-person meetings. Like, okay, cool, you want to sign this off? You're going to have to physically sign something off. So things are going to get weird. Deepfakes are real. And like I just mentioned as well, this is the worst that AI is ever going to be. Okay, we're only going up from here, and it's not exponential. This is a straight up rocket ship of development, because all the money is being poured into it. All the tech is being poured into it. Everyone is running towards AI because this is the new internet. This makes the internet look stupid. And when we get to the point where everything is better than what a human could possibly do and it's real time, that's when it's going to be too easy for people to do this. Like right now, when I use ChatGPT a lot for a lot of things, and it's funny because I'm getting flashbacks from 1994 with my 2400 baud modem, because I remember downloading text files and images from BBSs, and when I download an image of like some girl in a bathing suit, I'm all excited to see you see it like draw the image one line at a time. You're like, oh, here we go, it's gonna be amazing. Actually, you know what, this is funny, I want to tell you a little story. There's a moment, I was downloading this image of it was the Swedish bikini team. For some reason that was like the popular images to share around. There was like Kathy Ireland, and what else was there? What was another one? I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, Anna Nicole Smith. She was popular. So you're downloading this picture of like some Swedish bikini model, and it's line by line. You're just watching the image fill in, and you're like, oh, this is so exciting. And then at the very bottom, as soon as it's done, it says somewhere someone is putting up with their shit. I was like, that's hilarious, because it's like they were using the slowness of the delivery of the images to deliver the punchline. It was like a first, like an old preschool meme. But what this reminds me of is in ChatGPT, when you ask it something and you can watch it write out the response. You can almost read it real time as it writes to you, and it's like, wow, this is amazing, but it's so slow. That's it. We are right now at the 2400 baud of AI. So where are we now when it comes to data transfer? We are into the gigabit transaction speeds of things. That's what's going to happen with AI. And when we get to that point, I can't even predict where we're going to be, but it terrifies me and excites me at the same time. So I hope maybe you learned something a little new, but most importantly, you really need to not trust anything that comes across as video or audio to you that is important without verifying it. Just for right now, do the old school method, right? One easy thing, call back the person on a verified line or number. So if someone calls you and says something and you're like, okay, it sounds great. Hey, let me call you right back. Call them back, verify the message. You get a Zoom call and you're doing all that stuff, great. Call them back and verify that stuff. Do a callback to the known trusted number, because all that stuff can be spoofed. Phone numbers can be spoofed very easily. And so don't think that because your caller ID says the person that it is, it's absolutely not true. Call them back. And then the other thing is what you've seen in every old spy movie, right? Or, someone goes up to the door and they knock on the door. Hello, I'm here for the Green Falcon. What color was the Falcon's bird feathers? They are blue. Some stupid back and forth message. That's what you're going to need now. You're going to need that verifiable thing that happens. And if you haven't figured out where this conversation is going, verifiable credentials. So not only verifiable credentials, which is what we're talking about with the driver's licenses, we have all that, that's great, but we're going to need verifiable identities. And that's something that we haven't done. Well, I shouldn't say we haven't done. Let's say that everyone else hasn't done, but maybe I'll just stop the conversation there. I'll see you guys around. Bye.